Taking a deep breath, Morty. Busy doing transcontinental meditation. I can't shut my mind out, Morty.
I get a lot of questions about Beth, I've noticed lately. And my answer is Schrodinger's cat, bro. We haven't even looked in that box.
Let's get out of here.
I'm staying here.
Yeah, we got as many plans as you do. If you're a super fan, then you got theories, and so do we.
God, yeah, it's great to be able to say that and be honest. It's like, yeah, we haven't made that choice.
Yeah, you're smart people, so you've probably come up with some better theories, worse theories, overlapping theories, whatever. But then we sit down and we start writing, and what becomes canon becomes canon.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. So they're dropping new promos for Season 4, and because the DVD just dropped, they have all kinds of commentary. So a couple really interesting things came out of that, particularly them talking about the origins of Clone Beth and where they are on the matter right now. Is she a clone? Is she not a clone? There is a new round of the DVD giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. But there were actually two interesting moments in their commentary. One from the last episode, which I'll include in a second here, where Justin talks about time travel, which kind of discounts some of the Clone Beth theories, but also why they wrapped things up on a moment that didn't necessarily answer the question of whether or not she was a clone and sort of pushed it off to a future season, but also got her back with Jerry, because they're like, it's a finale, it needs to feel like a finale, so it has to be a big moment. So then Justin says Schrodinger's Beth, like they haven't looked in that box yet. Because as Dan Harmon said while they were negotiating for Season 4, like there's 70 new episodes, while they were working on that, they didn't do any work on the season. And based on some of the other things that Dan Harmon said on the commentary track, you can tell that they recorded this commentary a little while before they closed the deal for those 70 new episodes. Because he still takes a couple swipes at Turner. But it also sounds like in putting that off, like they say that, people have theories, some of them might be better theories than what they're thinking about right now, but eventually they'll sit down and what they write will become the true canon. Based on some of the things that Justin and some of the other producers have said, it sounds like they're really excited to explore the idea of Beth being aware of the central finite curve in the way that Rick is.
The universe is basically an animal. It grazes on the ordinary, creates infinite idiots just to eat them. Not unlike your friend Timmy.
Tommy.
Yeah, hardly matters now, sweetie. Smart people get a chance to climb on top, take reality for a ride, but it'll never stop trying to throw you, and eventually it will. There's no other way off.
Dad, I'm out of excuses to not be who I am. So, who am I? What do I do?
My advice? Take off. Put a saddle on your universe. Let it kick itself out.
So her big thing was that she was starting to question her true nature. If I'm just like you, Dad, then can I keep denying that and keep being the version of myself that I am here? The housewife who's the mom to Morty and Summer. Taking that to its logical conclusion, whether or not she's a clone, don't you think then we will explore different versions of Beth that made that choice and see what Beth is capable of when she's more like Rick? Remember, central finite curve, so you have many different versions. We saw like the young psycho version of her, that was kind of a joke. But like the spectrum of Beths, there's probably a lot out there that are doing some really cool shit that they can use for really cool stories. So think about that in the back of your mind. And Rick's clone argument was more that all of it doesn't matter. The universe is going to eat us all for breakfast eventually anyway. So you might as well put a bow on it and have some fun while you have the chance to. So just go explore in the way that he explored during the missing years. They still haven't addressed that either, but they did joke a little bit about the timeline, about how there's a little bit of compression in the early seasons based on the time that Rick shows up. Then obviously during Morty's Mind Blowers, when we see a little bit more of him when Morty was older. I think the idea there is that he wiped all their memories because he came back for birthdays, maybe multiple birthdays, but because this was happening in an episode that was predicated on the idea that he was erasing Morty's memory, it's probably something he's done on a regular basis to the rest of the family. But in the episode 8 commentary, they did say that they wanted to do more Morty's Mind Blowers episodes, just because it gave them so many opportunities to play around in the timeline without having to time travel, which is the thing that they don't want to do.
I never intended for this to be a substitute for interdimensional.
No, none of us did. We had this all planned out. This was gonna air. This was going to air 9th, and then the actual Interdimensional Cable 3 was going to air 12th, in a world where we had 14, and then we've done 2 more, and that would have been that. But yeah, we had due to numerous production snafus, we had to cut the back 4.
Doesn't that blow your mind? There were 4 extra episodes that they intended on airing, and they were going to do interdimensional cable. So I think that's also more evidence, sidebar, for them doing 14 episodes a season in the future if everything goes well from a production standpoint, because like they implied that they had a bunch of production issues that prevented that, and they had to cut the back 4 from season 3. Speaking of time travel, bringing it back around to clone Beth or real Beth, when he comes back with the pizzas, most people were using the amount of time it took him to get those pizzas to say that Beth was not a clone because there wasn't enough time to grow a clone while he was doing this. And Justin Roiland basically just threw that out the window.
Hey, wait. No, but important.
What's for dinner?
Is Beth a clone?
Are we going to tell him on this commentary track if she's a clone or not?
We don't know yet, bro.
We're not telling.
We can't tell what we don't know, bro. I like this Rick line. He's like, by the way, I didn't steal it.
By the way, that was time travel.
Or by the way, I didn't use
time travel. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't let it eat you alive, because in my opinion, he went to a place where time is different.
Moves slower.
Differently.
He said that Rick went to a place where time moves differently. So ultimately, I think the takeaway is they haven't decided whether or not she's a clone. So you could argue either way, but if you're trying to use Rick's pizza to prove that she's real, you can't really do that anymore. But I'm still kind of leaning back towards real Beth at this point, just because of that conversation they have, the very first one, where she's like, "You'd tell me if I was a clone, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course I'd tell you." But then she starts to question her reality, and it starts to turn in on itself, and Rick looks like he gets really pissed off that he still has to be on the phone with her. So he just wants to end that conversation as fast as possible, so he'll say anything. So I think that he is being deceptive. But I do think the idea, based on what they're saying, is that we will get to the idea of infinite Beths and seeing different versions of that. People have theorized about a council of Beths. I don't know if they'll take it that far. But let me know in the comments if they do get into stories that deal with the idea that Beth is just as smart, or could be just as smart as Rick. What kind of Beth episodes do you want to see them do? Wouldn't be surprised if they did a Beth version of the episode 5 Rick-Jerry adventure where they just go off together.
Jerry, come on. We gotta go. You gotta come with me, Jerry.
Rick?
It's important, Jerry. The fate of the galaxy rests on your shoulders. Let's go. Put some pants on. Never mind. There's no time for pants, Jerry. I'll make you a pair of pants on the way. It's a Rick and Jerry adventure. Rick and Jerry episode.
But congratulations to the latest giveaway winner from my last video, Akalesh. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. I'll name a new winner when I post new Rick and Morty. Leave all your requests in the comments below. But click here to learn more about those 70 new episodes, and click here for my new Infinity War Infinity Gauntlet video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.